Okay, so let's start our session in cyber forensics, and today's topic that is based on the firewall, IDS, and IPS system on the basis of different distributions like Windows and Linux. So previously we are just covered that topic, that is the DOS investigation and the DDoS investigation as a web attack which is doing by the cyber criminal over the organization for crashing a server as well as the program which is working in that particular organization. So uh, there is a one type of countermeasure which is used by the organization to prevent that type of cyber attack which is doing by the cyber criminal. So that type of protection part, yeah, that type of countermeasure is basically uh, doing. We can the cyber investigator can doing with the using of firewalls. So let's see what is a firewall and how the firewall are actually works. So this topic, guys, you are already you are learned in CS training, I guess. But here we firstly we will see like on the basis of different distributions. Like in the depth, we are just going to cover that is the firewall systems, and let's see how the firewall like how the firewall can protect self as well as the system as well as the network of the organization. So let's see. So now I'm just going to share my screen and let's see how we can use that particular firewall terms for the protection part. Okay, so the firewall. So what is the firewall? So we know very well, like a firewall is just like a component which is used for filter the packets which is going and comes from the incoming and outgoing with the using of rule set like a inbound and rules or outbound of a particular network. So we can say that a firewall is the component, and that component is basically provide some types of filters over that particular incoming or outgoing packet, and that filter is basically designed with the rule sets of inbound and outbound within a network. So this thing is basically used by the firewall. A firewall and how can firewall can trace that particular packet? They can trace that particular packet because the firewall is having a database of the signature for the data packets moving inside and outside of a network. So if any type of malicious package comes in the network, and if the firewall can read it out, so they can simply block it. Yeah, they can simply remove it from that particular network. So this kind of thing is basically used by the firewall. So the data packet moving in a network traffic having some malicious content can be blocked by a firewall according to the rule set which is created by the network administrator. So if the network administrator created any type of rule set, so it means they are basically provided that rule set basically provided the different types of security concern regarding that particular firewalls, regarding that particular attacks. Okay. So let's we talk about like how the firewalls are actually work. So I already define you like how the firewalls are actually work. They can trace out the packet, they can scan the packets, and if the packet is basically a malicious, so they are just block that particular packet, and they can take some actions which is created, yeah, which is set in the rule which is created by the network administrator. So the firewall can take some action regarding that particular rules. Okay, according to that particular rule. Okay, so but if we are going to talk about like the firewall are works on the basis of software and hardware, so what's the working process of that particular firewall? So the firewall are basically are software and hardware that works as a filtration system for a data attempting to enter your computer or a network. And the firewall can scan packets for malicious code or attack vector that have already been identified and established threats. So if any type of threat as well as the intruder which is trying to come in that particular network, so the firewall are basically going to block them as well as to remove from that particular network, drop that particular packet also. So should a data packet be flagged and determined to be a security risk, the firewall prevents it from entering the network or reaching your computer. So this is a complete working process of the firewall. So now guys, I'm just going to represent a small video in front of you, so you guys easily understand like how the firewalls are